guys, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna talk about how to overcome bad reviews. Now, it doesn't matter what industry you're working in for sales. We've all heard of prospects say to us, you know, I really like you, but I did some research online and I saw some negative reviews that scared us. Now, when you get this objection, it's really important for you to identify what they mean by they saw something bad online. Typically, I would like to respond with something like this. When you say you saw bad reviews, what do you mean exactly? The prospect, they're not gonna respond in some positive manner and give you a straight answer at first. Most likely they're gonna say something like, well, you know, I just saw some bad things. And you should respond to them, well, did you read some bad reviews? Or did a competitor say something? Were they actual customers? This response puts the first seed of doubt into the prospect's mind. So maybe a competitor did say something, and this is you kind of giving that deflection. Like, obviously, competitors shouldn't be talking bad. It's, you know, so if another company's sales rep said something bad, well, obviously it's another company's sales rep, and, you know, is there really any validity behind that? Now, the customer might respond with something like, I'm pretty sure they were customers. You know, the reviews looked legitimate. Now, you're going to respond to them again and say, when you say you saw some negative reviews, how many did you see? If they say a lot, I saw a lot of bad reviews, you know, you need to get a number. You're going to respond with them like a lot by 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, make sure they give you that number, because without that number, you really can't put into a math problem, and putting this into a math problem is really how you're gonna break it down for the customer to understand, or the potential customer. You know, they're still a prospect at this moment. If they say, I saw 20 bad reviews. 20 seems like a lot in the world of bad reviews. 20 bad reviews, 20 people complained about your business. 20 people could be a lot of people, you know. You're gonna respond to them just like this. I'm with you. I understand you read something bad online that concerns you. Let's take a look at it this way. If we pick up 1,000 customers a month, that's 12,000 people a year. 12,000, and you saw 20 bad reviews. That would be 99.99% happy customers. And we're working in the shipping industry. If you ask me, that's pretty amazing. In fact, that's more than amazing. That's absolutely fantastic. You know, those are great odds. I will take those odds any day over any company that you saw 20 reviews out of the 12,000 potential customers that we could have had. When you get a chance to break this down in a math problem, that 20 reviews can kind of be minuscule, especially depending on the amount of moves you're doing. And typically most companies are doing a lot of moves. It's, you know, companies are doing hundreds of moves a month. Even the smaller companies are doing around 100 moves a month, especially if there's a sales team. Most brokerages are going to surpass that like crazy. Now, if they do not respond positively to this, sometimes they don't, they might need a little bit more convincing. You want to ask the prospect, so when you were reading these reviews, what was it that you read that concerns you? Is there something in particular, like something that somebody said? This is your chance to confront the customer and find out exactly what they are worried about. You have to face the music when a customer is complaining about a review. You got to identify the actual problem, and you have to get them to give you exactly what it is that scares them. Let the customer answer. Do not make suggestions. Most of the reasons for bad reviews will be one of the 5, either damaged or lost belongings, delays in shipments, overages, hidden fees, and extra charges, unprofessional subcontractors, or poor customer service communication. Each one of these has a different way that you need to address them. Let's start with damaged or lost belongings. This is one of my favorites when prospects bring this up, because this is your chance to get an upsell on the move. You want to give a response that's simple, just like this. Listen, Mr. Prospect, I'm with you. When hiring a moving company, it's really important that your items get picked up and delivered in the exact same shape as they are. So when we're going from point A to point B, you want to make sure your stuff is protected. And most of the time, damages come from bad packing. And a lot of customers use U-Haul or Home Depot boxes that are just made out of recycled cardboard, and they're not made for a long distance move. These boxes are very finicky and they crush down when they get the weight of other boxes on top. It's really important to use real cardboard boxes when transporting your items. And a lot of customers, when packing, they leave gaps in the packing, in their boxes, and stuff can shift and move, and having things loosely just doesn't protect the items. If you're traveling long distance, the road is bumpy, the items will shift. It's really important that they are packed correctly. If you ship through FedEx actually makes you pack in a very particular manner with strict rules if you want to have insurance, because they know if packing is done incorrectly, you're gonna get damages. And a lot of the reviews you might find that have to do with damages almost always resolve in the customer packing the items themselves. And that's what we want to avoid. After you deliver that, you want to attempt to get an upsell. If you didn't already have full packing, this is your chance to try to get in a full packing, try to get the extra wrapping. Maybe you can get the customer to get insurance. You can hit them with the trifecta right there. 3 big upsells, adding everything in there. Now your move could double, triple, depends on what you're doing. But as you're adding money, you can keep bringing the funds up. And this is how you make more money as a sales rep. Nothing is better than taking a negative issue and turning into something positive. You have a prospect that comes to you with a complaint saying they don't want to work with your company because you have a negative review or multiple negative reviews about damages, and then you turn that prospect in to spending more money on getting full packing. This is why this is one of my favorite objections that they give us, because it's almost guaranteed to get more money in the sale. Also, if they don't go down getting the additional funds, at least they're aware of being focused on packing their items right, so things are less likely to be damaged during the transportation. The next thing we're going to talk about is delays in transit. This is one of the objections that a lot of representatives are afraid to get, but it's really easy to overcome. The best approach is to level with the prospect on the way the shipping industry works. You should respond something like this: I understand the stress of getting your things in a timely manner. We do a lot of moves, and sometimes there will be delays. In my experience, it mostly only happens in the areas that are uncommon to travel, such as North Maine, South Texas. These are the areas that, trucks aren't running through every day. But also sometimes trucks can break down. Some things can happen on the road. A tire could get flat. We do our best to get everything to every job to every one of our customers as fast as possible. Keep in mind, the longer your items are sitting on one of our trucks or they're sitting in one of our storages, the more cost we're going to get as a company. It's in our best interest to deliver your items as fast as possible to the new location. If your items are in the warehouse, it costs us money to store them. If they're on a truck for an additional day, it's going to cost us money in labor for that driver to be transporting them or waiting for those to make it to you. Additionally, that truck has a cost for insurance every day. Not only insurance, also the cost to run the truck and the maintenance on that truck. These are all additional costs. So the company, us, we actually want to get there faster than you even want your items. So it's definitely in our best interest to get there quick. But like I said, sometimes things can happen. This is a truck, and they are transporting. You've worked with FedEx, you've worked with Amazon. We've all had delays before. Sometimes you order a package, they say it'll be here Tuesday, and it shows up on Friday, because things can happen in the shipment. It's not like we're just going to teleport your items from one point to another. We have to drive them there. Now is a good time to go to explain to the prospect the average delivery times. This is the best time to start doing that. This way you're avoiding problems down the line, and you don't have them calling you upset, hey, my items are delayed. So this is the best time to do that. Don't be afraid to try to charge your prospects some money and get an upsell. Most people truthfully want good service more than a cheap price. I know that's what everyone always says. They want cheap, 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 but that's just human nature to try to negotiate. At the end of the day, sometimes getting your items faster could be more important than the price. And the best thing to do is put it in the prospect's hands. Let them make the decision. Ask them, are you more flexible on delivery times, or do you absolutely have to get your items here on these days? And if they say they absolutely have to get these items here on these days, then guess what? congratulations, you have another chance to do an upsell. And there's nothing better than getting an upsell on a move. This is your chance to say, okay, well, we can give you a premium delivery at this cost. That means we put you priority over our other deliveries to get your items from point A to point B faster. Most companies do this. I don't know if your company does it, but almost all companies do offer this service. And never be afraid to ask for the money. See, at the end of the day, this is sales. You need to ask for money. And you need to charge the customer. And you're working at a business, and a business' main focus is to make money, and you get commissions. And your commissions, guess what? They come from making money. So never be afraid to charge a prospect, to add the services on there and explain it, because your job is to sell. And if you're in sales and you're afraid to ask for money, you're in the wrong business, because that's what you're supposed to do. The next thing we're going to talk about is hidden fees and extra charges. This is a really easy one to overcome, as this is a chance to make sure you can connect with your customer. This is the first time you 100% should have the customer's ear on the way the industry works and how people charge. It's either cubic feet or weight. I don't think one's better than the other, but you should have already explained that to your prospect. And if you did, this is going to be really easy. You should respond something like this. Mr. Prospect, I'm so happy this is the reason you're concerned, as this is why I've been so adamant about getting an accurate inventory. This is why I've asked you several times if the inventory list is correct. This is why I've explained how we charge. Sometimes customers think, they can just add things on the day of pickup, not give us the information, and we'll take everything for free. That's just simply not the case or the way things work. Let's take a look at your estimate to make sure this is perfect. Let's check the inventory. One thing that is very important to understand, that if we show up to your house and you're going to add a refrigerator, your price is going to change. We are a business. Unfortunately, we cannot move your items for free because, like I said, we're a business. So let me ask you, are we missing a refrigerator? I like to use something like a refrigerator, something that's ridiculously large, because that is something you shouldn't be missing. There's chances are you're not missing a refrigerator, you're not going to spook your prospect, because you shouldn't be missing this refrigerator. If you are missing a refrigerator, you should go back and start learning how to properly take an estimate, because this is a problem. A refrigerator is a really large piece of item that you shouldn't be missing. You should be doing better estimates than that. If the customer seems a little spooked still, I recommend doing a video estimate or trying to set up one. Hopefully you've already done a video estimate, because most companies don't do that. So you'd already be a +1. You could say something like, Mr. Prospect, this is why I did the video estimate, so I could see your items to give you an accurate inventory. A lot of the people that will complain won't allow me to see their items. What they're going to do is they're going to say, I have A, B, C, but when we show up, they try to take the whole alphabet. So, that's kind of why I wanted to do the video, and you allowed me to do it. So this shouldn't be a problem with you. But let's check this inventory to make sure it's accurate. And that's why doing videos is important. If you didn't, get the video with this. The prospect's going to love it. You're going to see it. You're going to make them feel comfortable, and you're going to end up winning the deal. It's simple as that. And chances are, if you didn't see the items in a video, you're going to do the video, and the job's going to go up 10, 20, even 30%. I've seen jobs double after a customer was worried about this review complaint, saying, I'm worried about hidden fees and charges. I've seen jobs double, and still they book, because they now feel comfortable, because you address the issue, fix the issue, and then you move forward from the issue. One more thing that I do recommend when talking about hidden fees: pull the customer to the estimate, explain the additional charges, make sure they understand shuttle, make sure they understand they pay for packing, make sure they understand glass items typically have a charge and they're not packed for free. Go through everything in detail with the prospect. Explain it all. You might get some upsells along the way. Get the price on the table. Not only will you make a really smooth, good move and a happy prospect or a happy customer at the end of the day, you're probably going to bring the job up, and you're going to overcome the objection that you almost lost a deal over. So real simple, follow this step, and you're going to win this 99% of the time. Let's move on to unprofessional subcontractors. The first thing to know about this response, it really depends on how your sale was. If you sell very transparent and honest like I do, then this is going to be an absolute breeze. If you've been selling by lying to the customer, misleading on who you are, you're going to have a huge uphill battle here. And this is why I'm always adamant about selling honest, because honesty wins more deals. Example, if you're a broker and you're hiding that you're a broker, this might cause you some problems because guess what? Now they're going to find out you're a broker. But if you're a broker, let your customers know you're a broker. Be proud to be a broker. Just because you're a broker, that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. There are good brokers, there are bad brokers, there are good moving companies, there are bad moving companies. The customer only knows what they're told to know. And if you're afraid to show who you are, they're going to think that's bad. But in fact, being a broker could be a good thing. Brokers can protect their customers. And we're going to talk about that in another video if you want to learn about this, but brokers can be a good thing. Now, regardless of how you sold, you're going to respond to this in the same manner if you did it right, if you did it wrong. A lot of times, this is almost like a smokescreen kind of objection. It's not the real objection, but it's obviously not a smokescreen. They've read subcontractors, and that's the word that's resonating in their head. The best way for you to respond is, say something like this. When you read about subcontractors, what did the review exactly say happened during the move? What you're trying to do is get the customer to tell you what they read. A lot of times, yes, it says subcontractors, but they broke all my stuff. Okay, well, then you go to damaged items. Or it's subcontractors, and then it's, but the price quadrupled. Okay, well, the price quadrupled. So now you're going to go respond as the price quadrupled. You see, that's what I mean by identifying the actual problem. Because the problem isn't subcontractors. They wouldn't care if it said a subcontractor showed up, but they did an amazing job. Because if that's the case, they'd be like, oh, you're a subcontractor, but they're good subcontractors. This was a good job. So it's not subcontractor that's scaring them. It's the thing that the subcontractor did that is scaring them. Now, sometimes people will be hung up on that subcontractor. Typically, if you misled and kind of made it look like subcontractors are a bad thing. Really, they're not. They're only bad if the company hires bad subcontractors. If this is the case, you should respond to something like this. The way this industry works is companies work with each other. Joe Smo over here works with Joe Smo over there. And it's really important for you to understand that it's more important for us to show up and pick you up on the pickup day that we agree upon, because typically you cannot change your moving date. Either you're selling a house or you have to be out because of a rental. And we have to make sure we show up. And sometimes things happen, such as a truck breaks down or a foreman doesn't show up. And sometimes in this industry, we have to work with other companies to perform your move all the way. Or maybe you're going to an area that is, we don't have a truck running and we have to get this delivery fast. So we perform your move, but we have it loaded onto another truck that's going to deliver to your location. And that's because we're trying to provide you a better service and connect all the dots. And that's essentially how the entire world shipping works. Multiple parties getting together. The most important thing for you to do is to make sure the party that you're speaking to knows what they're doing. And we absolutely know what we're doing. We aim to work with the best companies that represent us if it's not us. And we aim to do the job 100% right and focus on that customer satisfaction. Now, if you're a broker, this is your chance to address the benefits of working with a broker, very similar to what I was just talking about, but make sure they understand, hey, we are a broker, and start going into all the positive things about being a broker. Let's jump into another complaint that they might read. Poor customer service and poor communication. This is a really easy one to overcome, as they're speaking to you. And if you're a good salesman and you're doing your job, they feel comfortable. And if you have them on the line telling you why they don't want to work with you, chances are you've already made them comfortable. So you're going to respond something very simple like this. I understand the stress and the worry about poor communication, and you want really good customer support. This is why you have my direct sell. And I'm going to be here every step of the way. You're working with me. You're not working just with the company. You're working directly with me. You can call me anytime, any day. I will answer the phone to make sure you have a smooth move. I understand moving is stressful. I know how overwhelming it can be, especially when you're moving a long distance. So this is why I'm here. I do this every day. I'm a professional. I take pride in my job, and I take pride in being an expert and a leader in the industry of what I do. When you work with me, my main focus is to get referrals, and 90% of my business absolutely comes from referrals. And I assure you, when this is all said and done, chances are you're probably not going to write a good review, but you're definitely going to refer me. You know why? Because you're going to be so busy at your new home, you're not going to have time to write that review. But when your friends ask who to work with, you're going to remember me because you've already saved my number in your phone. So let me handle the stress of getting you from point A to point B. You focus on all the different things you have to get done for your move, and let me handle the moving process. This is what I do. It should be really rare that you lose a deal over bad reviews. Even if your company has a ton of bad reviews, there's so much ammunition that you have when addressing them that you should almost always take bad reviews and turn it into a positive thing. Most of the time, when a prospect would call me and tell me they weren't going to go with me because they read something online, almost every time I turned that into a deal. It's very, very rare that I was unable to overcome that. And when I mean rare, I mean it was like the far and few between, because this is a closing question. Believe it or not, it is literally a closer. They say, I read something bad online, and you go through the process. Bam, bam, bam. And then before you know it, you're getting the credit card from this customer and you're moving them. And not only are you getting a close from this, you're able to clean up your sale, find the problem in your sale, address the prospect's main concerns. And the main concerns typically are what they read. And it's not just what they read. Most of the time, they only are worried about a bad review if it's something they're worried about. If the prospect does not care how long his items take and he read that things take a long time, he's not going to care about those reviews. So keep in mind, the reviews they talk about personally matter to them, that it doesn't happen. Now, if you find yourself dealing with a prospect that is really hung up on something like the BBB or Yelp, for instance, go check my video out about BBB. Go check my videos out about Yelp and how to overcome those exact review sites. But make sure you always lead off with what we went over in this video first, because when you're getting combative about something that someone trusts, that is a very risky way to take a sale. You never want to get combative with the prospect. You always want to agree and move forward and address the issues. But when this does happen, I do have other videos you can watch. But once again, make sure you lead with what we went over in today's video before you start going into the deeper side of things and trying to discredit some of these review sites. Anyways, thanks guys. If you found this video helpful, smash the like button, follow the channel.